there's some massive international games this weekend, which I am so keen for. I'll be watching them all. I'll be getting up at the middle of the night. Actually, I'll probably be staying up. It's 11:30 Queensland time, so I'll be doing that to watch the first Ashes, and then there's a couple of beauties. I'll be at the Tonga Samoa game as well at Suncorp. Very keen. So let's rip into our internationals preview and best bet segment. So this segment is sponsored by Bets.com.au, where you can find free game previews for NRL and all international rugby league matches. But first up, PNG v the Cook Islands. So that's on Saturday, 3 p.m. Queensland time, 4 p.m. New South Wales time. Port Moresby is where it's at. Isaac, Cook Islands must win this one to stay alive. If they lose this, they are done and dusted after losing last week against Fiji. For PNG, for mine, I think there's a bit of pressure on PNG this competition to do well and make sure they win the lower division, because obviously we know they're coming into the NRL. They've really had some time now to develop. They're getting better and better. I feel like this is a big year for them to really put their foot down and show that they're starting to get up to the quality of those other nations in the tier one sort of lineups. But very keen for me personally to see what PNG can produce here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually quite excited, like looking at this PNG side moving forward. Quick shout out over on the Cook Islands. I believe it's Valentine Holmes who's actually acting as one of their assistant coaches at the moment over there, which is really cool to see a little bit of a player coach while he's nursing his injury. So just wanted to give a quick shout out to him because I thought that was a really cool story that came out last week. But yeah, look, I'm probably looking at this PNG side. I'm a little bit more impressed by them now. Obviously, they've got quite a few NRL stars throughout their side. And I think that this kind of means a little bit more to them. Obviously, with the PNG Chiefs coming in 2028 to the NRL, there is a little bit more hype around Papua New Guinea and what they can produce. And look, if I'm the Cook Islands, while obviously they need to win to stay in this, I don't know if they've got essentially the firepower to down the PNG side this week. And so I'm probably a little bit more impressed by this PNG side. And from a narrative standpoint, I think that, this is only generating more buzz and probably bringing a few eyes to, which PNG natives and obviously, players with PNG heritage could look to make the move over to the Chiefs in the next few years. So there are quite a few storylines floating around there. But I'm, by looking at this kind of team list, I'm a little bit more excited by the PNG side.
Yep, I am with you. And my best bet for this game is Robert Derby, anytime try scorer for PNG on the wing there. I think he will be gifted one, maybe a couple, to be fair. The next one, very, very keen for this one. So Saturday night, 11:30 Queensland time, 12:30 New South Wales time at the great Wembley Stadium. Very keen to watch a league game out of Wembley Stadium. Massive game to start the Ashes series, this one. I was like, I'm so keen. I think there'll be so many staying up and watching this game. The England side still hasn't been named. I don't know what has happened with the rulings and what's changed, but Australia named theirs now, 2 days ago. Still, the English have not done a thing. I would love to clarify that, but everywhere else have absolutely no idea. And they're just saying, who knows, England's doing England. And so I think over there, they're used to doing it like they can do it up to an hour before kickoff or something. They can change things. So they're just probably playing some silly buggers here. But don't underestimate the English. But what I will say, Isaac, I was worried leading into this who the Australians could pick. But as form has come into it, I'm so all for the Australian side at the moment. It's not funny. I think the Aussies will win this one. I think they can potentially do this quite comfortably as well. They've just got some of the best players in the competition, some of the most formed players in the world as well. When you got Walsh, he can't put a foot wrong, it feels like, at the moment. Nathan Cleary partnering, Cameron Munster in the halves, Harry Grant there. The forward pack with Tino in there with Kalal Matangi is awesome to see as well. There's plenty to like about this Australian side, and I'm all over them. What about you?
Yeah, it's. I think a lot of NRL fans have been taken aback by the whole team list thing. Internationals, they're not bound by the whole Tuesday 4 p.m. team list drop that we're used to in the NRL. So I'd expect that.
I
Yeah,
don't
look,
like the
I
Tuesday team. It's stupid.
yeah, it's look, I guess it works, I guess, from a media standpoint. Everyone can kind of get this stuff ready. But yeah, I feel like, being bound by those kind of constraints does kind of make it a little bit, especially when you get to this international stage now where they're not bound by these kind of time constraints. Looking at a blank team list for England, look, I'm gonna get into my whole tinfoil hat bag. I think they're playing mind games with us Australians.
They
And
need to.
I love it from England. But I know they're going to produce a good side. I don't know if you saw the England side. Half of them playing with the Aussie jerseys on. The mind games are on. They're getting into the mindset that they need to essentially cause an upset over Australia. But I'm going to back our boys in the green and gold this week. I think that this side is just absolutely brilliant. The fact that we've got an Australian side that doesn't have Payne Haas in it, and it's still just a mammoth forward pack is just crazy. So I'm really impressed by this side. I'm lucky enough to be working an overnight on Saturday night over at the ABC, so I will be watching as well. And I'm keen to kind of see the boys rip in.
Mate, it's prime time for you in your nighttime working hours that you do. My best bet for that game, I've got Australia 13 plus in that one. The last game, the Sunday at Suncorp Stadium, I cannot wait to be there for this one. Tonga versus Samoa. 3 p.m. Queensland time, 4 p.m. New South Wales time. Samoa, again, must win this one after losing last weekend against the Kiwis. A cracking game that was, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Tonga, being led by Isaiah Katoa in the halves, could be a crucial element to this game. He's one of the form players of the competition, so looking forward to that. Both teams, like you just look through it, it is absolutely, it's on fire. It's such a this game could really channel Origin in terms of how it's played, the intensity, everything. I'm so looking forward to this game. In saying that, like I in a way, Isaac, I think last week you might. In front in this game for mine because they've played that game already. They've had time to develop some combinations. It is international rugby league. We're seeing normally in things like the World Cup where you have to play a few games to really work your combinations out. So this being Tonga's first game might hurt them a little bit where they've got to have some time to click, where Samoa had that last week. I think many can have seen it as well. As the game went on, the Samoa seemed to get better last week. So I think with the like of Payne Haas leading up front, I don't think they can go through this competition losing 2 games in a row. So I think I'm leaning towards Samoa. Yourself?
I'm actually on the other side of the spectrum. I've got Tonga winning this one. This is by far the game of the week for me. But Tonga is just. This side is absolutely lethal, and if this was Australia versus Tonga, I would be worried for the Australians. That's how much I love this side. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it's going to be a tight contest. Whichever side wins, it's going to be 1-12. I want to give a quick shout out to Tonga, who they invited quite a few youngsters coming through the ranks to their camp this week, kind of getting a few young players in and amongst the camp and training with the boys and a few school boys as well. So I had the privilege of breaking one of those stories. So if you want to head over to my Instagram, @IsaacIsa_journalist, you will see that there. But that Tonga's doing some really cool things over there, and I'm really excited to see them rip in this week. Now, for me, it's the battle of the forward packs. Now, both sides have absolutely brilliant forward packs. I guess you could probably give the edge to Samoa. Obviously, they've got the best forward in the game and probably of all time in Payne Haas, if not definitely top 3 all time forward in Payne Haas at the peak of his powers. And you've got a throbbing halfback in Isaiah Katoa who's just itching to lead this side to glory this weekend. So I've probably got Tonga winning it, but it's going to be a cracking match. Absolutely.
My best bet for this one is Samoa, and you're right. I think it's 1-12. I think it's a very close one. But at the end of the day, it would not shock me if it goes 1-12 either way. I just think it's going to be a fantastic game. For the best odds from Aussie bookmakers, head on over to bets.com.au. You do need to be 18 or over, and please remember to bet or gamble responsibly.